My name's Ronnie.
And I'm Naz.
And we are New Girls on the Block.
Yes.
If you're new listening to us, welcome. If you're a return listener, welcome back. We're happy to have you here.
Yes, definitely.
This week we're going to be talking about something a little controversial.
Yeah, it might be to some of y'all. A little controversial.
We're going to be talking about black conservatism.
Yes.
Conservatism.
Mm-hmm.
That word.
Black conservatism.
Yes. Not only on a political level, but we're going to be talking about it on a social level.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about some music. Because I just feel like it's a lot going on. A lot of craziness on both sides, whether it be conservative or just like super liberal, extremist. Like, I don't even know.
I feel like it's not always talked about, or it's kind of like we as black people kind of get like, oh, we're all liberal, and we kind of stay on that. Not all, I'm not gonna say all, but it seems like the majority tries to stay on that side of things, and the media kind of pushes black people to stay on that side of things, which is crazy. But first things first, before we get into that, we're gonna be talking about our week.
Yes.
So how was your week so far?
My week has been good. Last week was real good. It was my godmom's birthday over the weekend.
Nice.
So we celebrated, me and my sister and my family, we celebrated her birthday. We did some decorations for her.
Oh, that's cute.
And just had a good time. Like, she's a person, she don't be going out like that.
Yeah.
But now she's getting like back into the swing of like going out, just having parties, doing stuff with her friends. So it was good to see her just turning up and just like enjoying her company.
Little Virgo queen.
Yeah. The Virgos.
Yeah, they're something. But
yeah.
I feel like they have, I have like a, I guess not love, hate, but more like love and kind of chill back. Not hate, because no shade, no hate. But I feel like Virgos are really like, they're really like determined. They're really like, I don't know. They just have this type of energy. And I'm like, okay, I could vibe with Virgos.
I feel like Virgos are very critical, but they always, I like Virgos because they always keep themselves together.
That's the thing, yeah.
They really, like, you never gonna see a Virgo sweat. I feel like even if they had they like last wits end, you're never gonna know.
Exactly. I feel like they have just more of like a type of like powerful, like, you know, Beyonce a Virgo. That's a queen right there. She don't play. I feel like she like the type that's just like, I'm gonna do the best and I'm gonna be the best. If
she gonna do it, she gonna do it to her like maximum
capacity. And I love that for them.
You know, I'm a Virgo rising. Well, no. What's the main one? Like our main sign is the moon sign. Our rising sign is the next one, or our sun sign.
Girl,
I don't know. My placement is also in Virgo too.
Oh, really?
But I don't see it that much. I don't feel like I have Virgo characteristics.
You do. You're like well put together a lot. Period. Thank you, girl. I have a mine's is I know Capricorn is something, and the other one, I wonder if it's Virgo. I gotta check. I'm gonna check in like.
We should do that.
I know.
Should do an astrology episode.
We should.
That just. Y'all want an astrology episode?
Period. Because
I didn't know.
I feel like I need to get more into that parts of things, like the rising, because I don't be knowing. But I feel like I could see that I have some characteristics of Capricorn.
I don't know too much about a Capricorn.
They're more, well, I don't be like work. They be like work. I don't have that character.
You left that one at the on a birth bed.
Yeah, I'm not that Virgo, but I mean Capricorn. But I feel like I have some of the. They're really like, not really stern, but more like
stoic.
I guess that's the word. And I feel like I can see that I could be like that sometimes. And I have that type of like, when people, I don't know. And it's not like when people say certain things or tell me things, it's just like I'm kind of like flat about things. And
you do have a good poker face.
I think, yeah. And it's like more of like, just like, yeah, I don't show too much
emotion.
Yeah, but it's
on the outside.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. So I can see that. But anything else happened in your week?
Besides that, what have I been up to? Doing lashes, doing makeup.
That's good.
No, I haven't done any makeup. I have 2 lash appointments this week.
Ooh,
but
I love that.
Yeah, I've been trying to work. Oh wait, did I tell you I'm going back to school?
I don't think you did.
I'm going back to school. I'm about to get my master's degree, y'all.
Yes, I love that.
In psychology, because you motherfuckers are crazy. No,
they gonna cancel you.
Crazy. No, just kidding. I never said this. We're going to delete this off the internet. Yeah.
Just kidding, guys.
No, I love helping people. Yeah. And I love healing people. And I'm just like, how can I use like something I actually like doing and pursue it? And I'm just like, I feel like therapists get paid well. Yeah. They get to service their community. And then I feel like it'll teach me things about myself. Yeah. Like, I know even if I put in the 2 years to get my master's, mm-hmm. I'm going to not only be professionally well off, but I'm going to be like more emotionally well off. Like, mm-hmm. So I'm like, it's like a good investment.
I think that is like a good feel for you because I feel like you don't, I don't know if it's just how I feel, but I feel like you can take a lot of information because I feel like for me, if I hear certain things, I feel like I would think about it too much, and I feel like you could like keep it in that space.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, like keep it in that space, but help a lot instead of because I feel like I take on too much, and I feel like when stuff is too much for me, I'd be like, ooh, like I can't take so much.
I try to. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like when I first became a case manager, I struggled with that. Like I used to be crying because I'm like, why won't these people get help? Like why won't they help them? But I've learned very like after just being emotionally just stressed out from other people's stress, like I'll learn how to say, okay, from 8 to 4 I'm doing this work. I could do what I could do, and I can I can't control everybody, and I can't fix everybody. I feel like I left the Jesus complex behind. Like I feel like I used to be like, I'm gonna save you, I'm gonna make it work, but what J. Cole said it best. You can't save her. She don't want to be saved. And that go for you men too.
Some people don't. But I feel like that's a good way of looking at it, keeping it within that time frame, and like you're doing it to help, but you don't have to take on so much of that energy, because that's a lot of energy, and it's like it could be
heavy,
real heavy. But that is so good. We love a college queen.
I'm going back next fall. I missed the deadline. Literally the day I called, they were like, "Oh, this is the last day for spring semester." Ooh. So I think I'm gonna do summer. I'm gonna start in summer and then just continue in fall and see what it do. Yeah. So when that time come, y'all will be getting some updates.
I love that, and she inspired me to look into. I mean, I'm dabbling. I'm not too sure, but I might.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And I might get mine as an architect because, we need houses.
Design
and affordable houses, y'all. Yeah.
I think that would be it will carry on from like what you got your bachelor's in.
I think so. And I feel like it would be more, opportunities in that instead of just, because I got my degree in urban studies and planning. But I feel like with that, it's kind of like, you're kind of stuck in this box unless you kind of like, go into something private, but then that's still kind of like stuck in this box. It's not like expressive. Like architect, you could design, like be more expressive with your, like it's kind of like an art and a craft. Yeah, so I'm like, that's kind of like what I want to do. I love houses. I love like design. I used to do like that on my free time sometimes, just like design like layouts of different houses and stuff. And I'm like, shoot, if I could do that, and if I could do it in 2 years and get out and get my degree, shoot, I might be building
And I feel like you'll be able to do something that's high earning, that's creative, and that you actually enjoy.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm just taking it like day by day and figuring out where I want to be at exactly in life. So yeah, I might be on it.
Yeah, you got it. We might be on this journey
for real.
But what about you, friend? How was your week?
My week was really good. It was my mom's boyfriend's birthday. We went to someplace called Rooftop by JG in Beverly Hills. And tell me why this place was a little too bougie for me. I was like these prices are outrageous. First of all, we reserved the lounge for his birthday, and they were like, "Oh, the lounge isn't open yet, but we can sit at the table." Tell me why the table cost. You have to pay a minimum of $100 each person at the table.
But y'all reserved it and it wasn't ready? And y'all did y'all come early or something?
No.
So why would y'all have to pay to accommodate
We didn't have to pay, luckily.
I was about to say.
Because I was like, I'm getting up and leaving. If I have to pay $100 for what? Like, it's not even, like, the stuff on the menu, it's per person, too. So, me and my husband went. We would have to pay $200.
Yeah, it's given. They try to make up for bottle service or something.
Because they're not even like it wasn't even like you just had to pay that minimum, and then it's like, oh,
Oh, and then you have to still pay for food?
Girl, I don't know how I don't know how it worked, to be honest. But I was like, I'm not paying $100. Tell me why a plate of sweet peas. First of all, who eating sweet peas like that? $17 just for the peas.
That's crazy.
Like, I could buy a whole frozen peas for $1.
Is that the same as edamame?
No, it's like green peas. You know, like
just
little,
like the little.
No, just like the little circle peas. A plate of circle peas for $17.
No, they didn't.
They did, and they really tried it. So I only ordered drinks. The drinks were good because I was like, I'm gonna eat before. We already knew. We looked at the menu. We was like, let's eat before. So I ate before, but then I was like, maybe I'll order something, maybe. But then I was like, I'll just order a drink. So me and Sarah ordered drinks, and like my family and stuff, they ordered food and stuff. But then it was just like, it's okay. It's like, it was definitely not worth the price. No offense to JG or whoever it is, but...
All offense. Shot fire.
Yeah, low key.
-5 review.
Yeah, the only thing is the view was...
amazing.
Beautiful. Like, that was probably the best view I've seen in LA.
Really? Better than the hotel that we...
Yeah. It was so nice, and like... have flowers everywhere. You could see like all the it was beautiful. We should go for drinks. That's it.
We should go.
And just sit at the bar.
Down.
It's like $20-something a drink, and
you
that's
ain't gotta tell me twice.
Girl, for real. So I feel like that's the part that's good. It's just the drinks and the vibes and the views. Okay. Other than that, I'm not buying no food from there ever again. I'm like, that's like a once in a while thing.
And what did you get? I know you didn't get no peas.
No, I didn't. I only got the drink. I only got the drink was really good though. It was like a spicy. It had jalapenos in it, and it was good though. It was like flavorful. It wasn't too spicy or anything, but it had a good flavor. And then Samir ordered like just straight whiskey, and I'm like,
okay, period.
You doing too much for me.
I would have been on his timeline.
Yeah,
$20.
True though.
I need my full serving.
True, but I just feel like that flavor was just. I'll be liking a mixed drink, y'all. Too much is too much for me.
Bring some pickle juice if you know you know. Have you ever had pickle batch?
No.
It's fire. A shot of whiskey with some pickle juice follow.
I like pickle juice though, so I feel like that sounds like
it's
good.
Fire. It takes the whiskey taste completely away, and it just leaves like you know the tart pickle taste. And
that sounds like something I'd do.
We go try it next time.
Yeah, but that was my weekend. Today, just to bring, because I went to the gym today. Y'all, this is just a little story time. But I went to the gym today, and I was like, okay, let's go swimming. Let's go to the pool and enjoy the pool, like just to get some laps in. Because I be trying to like swim, y'all. I be trying to like learn how to swim better. Yeah, and I was like, that would be a good workout. So the pool always got old people at the gym. No offense. No offense. But it's like really old people who be in the pool, and I'm like, when I see it was looking like a little too much, and I'm like, should we? But then we just like, let's just go. Like, we came here to swim. So we in the pool, and we were staying in this like little area because it was like so many of them doing laps and stuff, and I'm just like, like this too much. But I'm just like, let me just like not think of it. Let me just do what I like, my little arm workouts and stuff. Tell me why this old man come swimming. He start doing laps. He get his head up. He hawks up the biggest, nastiest sounding lookie and spits it in the little area where the water like flows in and out. And then I'm just like,
that's disgusting.
I'm
it's
like
gonna
looking
flow right back into this.
Girl, I'm looking at Samir, and I'm like, he was like, yeah, this is nasty. And I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? So I'm just trying to like I'm like, should I just run out? Like, I was just trying to like get it together. I'm like,
you was shook.
Yeah, I was appalled, y'all. I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm like, kind of like cooling. I'm like, hey, maybe like if I stay away, like, cause we were like further away from him. Then he swam to the other side, did the same thing on the other side, spit out a big old whatever. We hear him hawking, and all the old ladies turn around like what?
Bro was marking his territory. He don't know COVID going around.
Girl,
I didn't even say that. We gonna have to bleep that out. They
but
be
for
taking
real,
videos now.
Over COVID?
What?
Over. Okay. Bleep. I didn't know. But yeah, I feel like I was like so disgusted, and I'm like, this is ruining my day. I came to swim. I came to like enjoy the gym, and I'm like, Never again am I gonna go swim at the gym because it's always full of old people. Like, and no shade to old people, not to be like that, but it's always something. And I feel like they just kind of like, when we come to, it be feeling like weird energy. Like, why y'all? It be feeling like they like upset that we here.
They're upset because they really want to suck your energy and be young. And if you stay in a pool too long, it was God giving you clarity, because you could have catched the ick, the old ick. If you're around old people too long, you start looking old.
Ooh.
So you would have started. A cough might come on.
Ooh, girl, I'm gonna take some vitamin C, because I was so disgusted. And then, like, because you're supposed to, like, rinse off before you get in the pool. So, this was before we got in. I was over there. It's, like, 2 showers on each side. So, I'm, like, rinsing off. And Samir started rinsing off. And then I look over. It's some little old lady staring at him, like, just staring. And not, like, not in a way like that. It just looked like, she was just, like, and I'm, like, so I start staring at her. And I'm, like,
Miss, I don't stare.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, when you feel somebody staring
at you,
it's like when I see something like that, I'm gonna stare right back. Like, okay, what are you doing? So I start staring at her, and she's still staring at him, and I'm staring at her. And then she finally looked at me and was like, oh, like,
yeah, she's staring at me.
Yeah, girl, cause what? Why are you looking at him like that? Like, don't get
God. You already on your last day, sweetie.
For real. So all of that stuff just irritated me. And I'm like, I'm not going back to that pool. I could swim somewhere else. That's why I just need a private pool.
We just need to elevate.
I just need to elevate my life to give myself a private pool, because that was unacceptable. I was like, unacceptable. But I was so disgusted. But that could lead us to our topic of what is usually considered old people, and that's conservatism. Conservatism. And yeah, I feel like, so I didn't really know what conservatism was. I know that it always had ties. For me, when I think of it, it always has ties to, like, political. And I was like, you know, that's just the type of people that's like, I think of Trump. And I'm like, that's the type of people who, like, vote for Trump and stuff like that. So I just kind of have the stereotype. But we're going to get into it a little bit further, y'all. So let's start with the first thing. When you think of Black conservatism, what do you think of? Do you want to go first?
Yes, I will go first, because I think about Donald Trump. No, I don't think of Donald Trump. King. Yes. My Black King, Donald Trump. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Nah, but
only jokes, y'all.
You know, when I think of Black conservatives, I low-key think about, like, people who lived in the 60s, because I don't necessarily think you have to be Republican to be conservative. I feel like conservative people are people who, like, are more, I think of, like, traditional people. Okay. People who are, like, this is our values. This is, like Black people who be like, Black excellence. Like, Black people who be like, we need to have this generational wealth, this Black excellence. They all go to HBCUs. Like, I kind of, like, they live in North Carolina. Like, it's a vibe when I think of them. But when it comes to politics, I do have, like, a kind of a musty taste in my mouth. Yeah. Because I think of, like, Candace Owens. And, like, the thing about her is, like, I guess a clock could be right twice a day. Because sometimes I'll be like, I hear you, sis. Yeah. But then she say some crazy stuff, like, I'll be like, girl. Literally, like, so I just feel like conservative people are usually, like, people who are kind of stuck in their ways. I do think they have some value to them. Like, I think both parties have value to them when it comes to political views. But even when it's, like, socially, I think of, like, them who are, like, kind of, like, more bougier Black people who are not just, like, going with all these kind of trends, because I feel like the media itself right now is, like, super duper, like, liberal, and it's like anything goes right now, in my opinion. And this is coming from somebody who was, like, a social justice major. Like, it just seems like anything is going. And I feel like, even though I don't consider myself a conservative person, I feel like when we do think of Black conservatives, we automatically put them in a box over here. Yeah. And I don't think that's always necessarily fair, because they may have views that help us as a community, whether it be socially, political, whatever. Mm-hmm. But just because we be like, oh, you're not going with what we think is progressive, we put them in a certain box and not pay attention, or label them like a coon, or label them like just a Republican, or like a Uncle Tom. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes they have good views, you know, and I feel like just because somebody wants to hold on to traditions, like, you got to know your past to be able to successfully go to the future.
Yeah.
That's like my spark notes. But what about you? When you think of a Black conservative, what do you think of?
I guess like the first thing that comes to mind is more like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like Carlton.
Yeah.
Carlton is like conservative. Like that's the type of person that I think, like, just in like they wear suits, they just like are kind of like wealthy, come from a wealthier background.
I feel like that whole family
is like, conservative. Yeah, that's how it's more though, but for some reason it's just like Carlton's type of energy. That's the type of energy I feel like a lot, like just what I would think of what conservative is. But like looking into it more, when I like looked it up, it is more like people who are like in belief of their traditional values and stuff like that. So when you were explaining it, I started thinking of people like that I've came across who works for like the city and stuff like that, like those type of people who are like established in their career, who have, I'm sure, have a nice house, nice car,
living over there in Ladera probably.
Yeah, that, but they are very, like when I talk to them and have conversations with them, they are very knowledgeable and want to help the community most of the time. But I feel like even with me, when I see stuff like that or see like these people, this is coming from a person who is supposed to be in that field as well. But when I seen stuff like that, it was kind of like they just kind of like, so like you said, like just like, I don't know if my personal views will be the same. Like they're just kind of like in this box of, they just do the same thing every day. It's kind of like so structured and so like, not saying so put together, but so put together. But I feel like my personality and my life is like, that's kind of why I didn't want to get into the field or like the working for like the city and stuff. Cause I'm like, I'm more of like a free spirit. I'm more of a person who like likes to try new things and likes to like not just be stuck in this like, 9 to 5, coming to the same thing, drinking the same coffee, doing the same. And I feel like that's kind of what my idea for. It's more of like just, I do the same thing daily. I love my job. Like that type of energy. And I'm like,
Can't relate.
I
feel it.
Yeah, so I feel like it, and I do agree that they do have good like values, and I feel like a lot of them do have like things to offer, and I feel like that's where we kind of lack behind, being like young, Black, and more pushed to liberal, the liberal side. I even look at that type of energy as like, that's just old people. Like they're like, they don't know what's really going on in our lives, and like we want to live freely and just like enjoy life, and they're just kind of like, oh, you need to be doing this at this age, doing this at this age, and it's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I kind of, and I feel like that's just my biased opinion. It's kind of like just what I
have experienced.
Yeah, and not really. Yeah, in a way I've experienced it, and it's usually out of kindness, but it's kind of like, girl, me, you cannot relate, or me, you do not relate.
I know you said that is mainly like when you talk to like older people who's already in the profession.
Yeah.
Do you feel like do you come across a lot of like younger conservative? Like you guys know we're in our 20s.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you come across a lot of people that are in their 20s who may have like values who are not like, whom it might be considered traditional or conservative? Because I'm thinking of somebody in particular that's related to your husband.
Girl. All his family.
That I would know.
Oh, okay. Maybe in the way that you are explaining, kind of like a structure. I could see that, and I could see, because I know who you're talking about, and I could see him as like that type of vibe, but it's still not. Cause he's kind of like, he be saying stuff, but it just like, then the next one that's why it's just like
what's really going on here?
Yeah, like it's just like he'll say one thing and then the next one he'll be doing something totally different. So it's like, he is not really somebody I would consider like fully on conservative and like sticks to their like fully, in a way, yeah. And I feel like his parents are like that. They're really like that. So I feel like he took on some of that, and then kind of like being
remixed it a little bit.
Yeah, and being that we're in this age of people, he has different, not the same views, but similar views, but in a way of the like
new generation.
Yeah, the new. So yeah, maybe that is considered conservative in our age, but in a way, I think he's kind of like, I don't think he'll be fully conservative. Yeah, but when I think, I could say, in a way, my older sister has some type, but not like straight. I feel like nobody's really straightforward. It's like, oh, I'm conservative. This is this, but she has some like her views. Like she likes to keep the traditional views in certain things. So I feel like she has like some sprinkle in there, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I think that's the thing about it. I feel like sometimes, like as a young Black person in America, I feel like sometimes we're kind of like forced to be in a box. It's like either like you're super outgoing and like you're just this kind of person, you're a free spirit, you're outgoing, and that's automatically associated with like a certain party, like Democrats, or like you're automatically going to be like super like free or like super like even like down to your sexuality, like super promiscuous.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes that's not always the case, and I feel like just because you have like conservative views doesn't mean you can't also hold like more liberal or more progressive views.
Yeah.
Because like liberal is kind of in the middle, but like progressive, I feel like they're always like challenging the status quo and trying to move forward when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
So I feel like why can't, I feel like Black people don't have the space to be like, I don't really care to fall into the Democratic side or the Republican side.
Yeah.
I just want to be on the side that benefits me, if that makes sense.
I could agree, because that's kind of how I would not say that I'm a liberal at all. I would not say that I'm a conservative at all. But I feel like my views and just like the person who I am, I'm more like individual. Like I feel like I kind of move closer to the liberal side, but in a way I still feel like I'm not fully either or. I feel like it's I don't know, like it's certain things, because I feel like the people who like are even like way too far off to the liberal side be doing too much, and it's like, okay, why are y'all just like tripping? Like,
yeah.
I seen a thing. Okay, not to
let's talk about it.
Yeah, because I don't know if this is what's it called, controversial or not. But
we're here for the hot takes, girl.
So I seen this thing of this lady who, it was a video of her like saying like, oh, she was pregnant. She was like, oh, I don't really care the gender of my baby as long as it's a health. Like, I'm praying for a healthy baby. I'm not praying about the gender. Tell me what, it was eating her up in them comments talking about, oh, you're praying for a healthy baby, so you're able, like saying like she like ableist, or I think because she praying for a healthy baby. They're like, oh, well, my son is not a healthy baby and I still love him. This like, oh, so you're not gonna love your child if it's unhealthy.
See, that's what gets me. These people on the internet who is just like, y'all are just waking up and saying, what can I argue about today?
Exactly.
Because what does her saying she wants a healthy baby, how does that all of a sudden insult your baby who's going through whatever it's going through?
Exactly. Like,
so just because your baby's struggling, mine's got to?
Yeah, like, and then and I feel like people do certain things like that, and it's showing that I don't know how to say, like, that they wish that they had. It's like they're showing, jealousy. I guess, envious and jealousy. Like, what? Why would you ever say something like that? Like, she could pray for a healthy baby, and I'm sure either, like, whatever she has, I'm sure it's going to be, like, loved, but you should pray for a healthy baby. You should be, and not be insulted if your baby came out with health problems, but you're mad because she's praying, not even, like, I don't know.
That's just crazy.
That's so crazy.
And I feel like, yeah, that's psycho. That's psycho. Seek help.
Yeah,
you need to seek help.
The crazy thing is, there was multiple people. Like, y'all are all delusional. Like, dang, she can't even pray for a healthy baby.
I feel like that's what's caused, because I do feel like there's a push for more people to be conservative nowadays, and I see more people from my timeline and my feeds. I see more people, especially Black people. embracing more like traditional conservative views.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's necessarily because there are these horrible people who think like we should have guns and all this stuff that like are associated with the Republican Party. I really feel like it's because people have took it too far to the other side, just like those people in there, and it's just like they're very combative, and like that person could be the most liberal or most progressive person, but now you done attacked her and made her feel crazy because now she's quote unquote ableist. Just like when they say if you desire to be skinny or desire to be fit, you're automatically fat phobic. Are y'all crazy? Like, do y'all know what phobic means? That means you're literally afraid of something. Because I don't want to be unhealthy or like live a certain like life
you could even be healthy and big, but if you want to change your body and be comfortable in your own skin, why are you mad that somebody want to like lose weight and be skinny if they're fat? And you're talking about fat phobic. No, I'm sure they just want to feel more comfortable in their skin. And some people are confident in being big and feeling like, but still, I feel like if you have that, like, I don't know, it's like if you have that mindset of, you think just because they want to be skinny is fat phobic, like, I feel like you're just kind of like, it's either somebody who don't have nothing to do with that genre too, usually. It's like people who just like, because that could go to a different point too.
No, let me hear it.
Yeah, I'm a retrace that back because I feel like that could lead. It could either be somebody who's not even in the fat community, not fat, whatever, but that community who is just trying to say, like try to like push these narratives like, fat phobic and we need to be appreciative of bodies and all types of bodies and stuff like that. And yeah, we should always respect somebody no matter what they look like, no matter what, as long as it's respect. But if somebody wants to change, why is that a bad thing? But that was leading me into thinking how all of this stuff, how this is kind of like a different little tangent. But you know how they changed the cinnamon on, what's this called? Apple Jacks?
Mm-hmm.
And to just a plain, no, and it's just like a general like.
Oh, like a cinnamon?
A cinnamon stick with a smile. So, like, I feel like, and even with that, and like Aunt Jemima, and like the Land O'Lakes, the butter, how it had the Indian lady on it, I feel like it's just white liberals who are saying this type of stuff, like, this is offensive to certain cultures. How is this? I feel like no black person ever thought the cinnamon was offensive.
I've never thought that in my life. I'm not Jamaican.
I'm Jamaican. And I feel like that was fun. I used to love Here I Come. I
feel like Jamaican love. That's just like when all the African Americans and all these white folks was mad at Adele for wearing Bantu knots. And all the Jamaicans was like, we love it. Yeah. And from what I understand, Adele's from a part of London that's super duper Jamaican. Like, she grew up side by side, so they wasn't tripping. But African Americans or white people are tripping when we're neither English or Jamaican, like.
And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of groups of people just try to like throw their own, like, okay, this is wrong, so I'm gonna say it's wrong. Like, how is that? It was never. I feel like no group of people, especially black people, was offended by it. Cinema. Like Jamaicans, no, definitely no. Black people, I'm sure nobody was offended. I feel like I grew up liking that character. It was fun.
I am sick.
Yeah, him running from that apple.
Yeah,
that Boston apple. But they changed it completely. Now it's just plain, and it's like, where's the characteristics? And even like, okay, I could get
it's too PC.
Yeah, like, and I could get the Aunt Jemima type because she was based on a real person that's not getting the kind of like her family.
But her family said that they feel like now they're erasing her identity.
See, and stuff like that. It's like we get too caught up in like, oh, this is wrong, and not really thinking of like, because even they did that to Aunt Jemima. They did that to I think they did it to Uncle Ben. And they did it to the Cream of Wheat Man. I used to like seeing the Cream of Wheat Man and all of these black people on this stuff. It made me want to eat that because it's like, I'm seeing the black people, like my people.
With these liberal people, I definitely agree, especially with these white folks who want to be like in the mix so bad. I feel like when I was in college, I was like part of the Pan-African Studies group, and there was always this white boy who used to like be like extra black, like, hey y'all,
yeah,
Black Power, Grand Rising Queen. Like, boy, I get it. And I feel like those are the ones that like get way too comfortable and like, okay, like, even I'm a black person, I don't consider myself a conservative. I may have like some views that I'm like, y'all got a point there, but overall I don't identify with that. But I hate when I see like white people who like are for the cause, quote unquote, trying to come against black conservatives and tell them how to live their life, experience black, like how they be going against Candace Owen. Like, y'all need to chill a little bit because that's still a black woman. Like, just because you don't agree with her views don't mean y'all could start belittling her.
Exactly.
Because that's giving racist to me. And I feel like they wouldn't have this energy for, what's her name, Tommy Lauren and all these other conservative white people. They feel like they have to put her in her place or put these black people who like don't fit their picture of what black people are supposed to believe in. But how are you gonna lead me to liberation when you're the person who's causing my freaking stress and my, you know, like, it just don't make sense.
You're the one who benefits from all of this, and you're like trying to tell me how to live. And I get it, because I'm not like she said, I'm not conservative either. But I feel like when it gets to that point of how these people just thinking that, oh, you should live this life, you know. And I remember it was a post about this white woman who was coming for this black dude, because he said, oh, it was the one who did the one black judge in the whole thing who did about the abortion thing, I think.
Yeah.
And it was one, I think that was it.
Not Terrence. His name escapes me, but I know who it is.
Yeah. And
Clarence Thompson, I think.
Okay.
His first name is Clarence.
Okay. Sure. We'll look it up. But I remember seeing something on Twitter of how all of these, you know, like the law passed of abandoning abortions. And then some white woman was like, what do you think they're going to do? She's like, basically like, oh, you're an N-I, the E-R, hard E-R. What do you think they're going to do to your rights next? You, like coming from only him, out of the whole panel, she calling him the hard E-R and saying, what do you think they're going to do to your rights next? How is that?
That's why I don't rock with the white feminists.
See, because I swear, it's like,
I cannot do it because, like, before they see you as a woman, they see you as a nigga. Yeah. They see you as a black person.
And that was really, like, I could see the upsetness. But first of all, you're only targeting the one black person on the panel.
We're in the majority of the U.S. Supreme Court. The judges, they're conservative. Yeah. Most of them, they have the majority right now. So why are you only coming from him?
Yeah. And then to call him that, like... Girl,
like it didn't went left real quick. Like, who do you think you are, and why are you so comfortable to not only use that word, but you're trying to like what? Because he's taking your right as a woman, but as a woman, you pay dust to women who don't look like you. Rather they be black, Latina, Asian. You're not worried about all women. You're worried about white women.
Exactly,
and that's why I can't rock with them.
That's how most of it be.
I feel like white Americans want to be oppressed so bad. Like, why do y'all want to be oppressed?
Yeah, like, I totally agree. It's giving psycho.
It's giving psycho from them. Like, first of all, trying to be super duper like for the cause when it's just like, relax.
And I bet you she was like that too. She was probably like, oh yeah, I'm for the
She's like,
community.
I have a black husband.
Yeah, but have the like to say something like that.
It's bold.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because, okay, you want to be respected as, oh, okay, your rights, blah, blah, blah. But to come for the only black person, to call him something that was linked to freaking slavery that your people, your ancestors probably did.
You want to put him back in that timeline? Yeah. When you had the rights to do what you want, but as a black man, he didn't? Because even though you feel like, dang, even though he's a man and men have these rights, you're a black man, so you shouldn't have more rights as me as a white woman. Because how dare you?
And talking about what do you think they're gonna do to you next?
What she would have been like, Emmett Till says this about me.
And she was given if it was between the two, she's choosing the non-abortion, and give like his rights don't matter. And not because I totally don't agree with this man. I don't agree with that whole abortion thing, but I feel like that was so far off and far just taken too far that it's like they're getting bold and like crazy, and then they just come and say something crazy like that. Like that was. Mm-mm.
I know this is gonna be a hot take, but this is just reminding me the person who spearheaded not only the women's suffrage movement, but she also created Planned Parenthood. Look into her. What is it? Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger. Look into her and see who she was targeting, what communities she was putting these clinics in to get rid of these unwanted pregnancies. And I believe that a woman should have the rights to do whatever they want with her body, with their bodies. But best believe it's a very clear history of white feminists trying to eliminate the black community in different ways. Look it up. That's all I would say.
Yeah.
Look it up. Margaret Sanger is not the feminist hero that you think she is.
Yeah.
Well, at least not for black women and black people, because sis believed in eugenics. So look it up. It's a clear history. And that's why, like, to me, like, I feel like there should be space for black people to really, like, take in different viewpoints, because honestly, like, when you take a step back and look at it, what's being promoted, like, I believe in progressiveness, but the things that are being, like, pushed down our throats by the media right now, I just don't see how it's actually benefiting me as a black woman from the music that's being promoted, like, the hypergamous lifestyle. And I believe, like, you should have your partner as a woman. You're the prize. You should have a man take care of you. Yeah. But they're not doing it in that way. They're kind of like breaking down the black man. Yeah. To like uplift themselves. And we don't have to do that as black people. I don't think so.
I totally agree.
And I feel like it's just like very odd when you pay attention to like what's being promoted right now, especially to young black people. And just ask yourself, like, from movies to music to politics to like
even the social media though, like those weird trends of like going to the street, how much should a man make a year, and then the girl's like, he gotta at least make $400K, and if not, I'm not dating. Like, it's just like, and then they perpetuating this whole narrative of like, oh, a man should do, and not saying like you said, like, I feel like the views are, okay, a man should try to be at least like to take care of the woman and do the things to do, and like, but I feel like now, so I feel like it was a time where it was quote unquote equality, but in like, okay, we could all like split in stuff, especially in this day and age, everything's so expensive, it's fine, but I feel like it's so much push of like, oh, you gotta be having bands, you gotta be, and then imagine how that feels for somebody who's like trying and like just trying to like get these different jobs. It's like, okay, all the women want these people who are making like $400K a year, when it's like, okay, then I feel like that could diminish somebody's character, diminish somebody like feelings like, oh, I feel bad, I don't feel good, I don't want to, like, it just makes me feel like I just have this pressure to keep a woman happy, and then when the money go away, like, what is it?
It's like transactional relationships. Yeah. And I feel like they're pushing, like, I'm all for hypergamy. Yeah. Like, date the person that you feel like you want to date. They should take care of you. You guys should take care of each other. Men and women bring different things to the table. But I think the way they're pushing it on black people, it's like almost like they're trying to like almost push like prostitution onto like young black women. That can't like really like see where is this gonna lead you in 10 years, because you're not Carisha, you're not JT, like really where is this gonna lead you? And even with the rap music, like I love rap music, but I feel like it's like a trend right now where we're going towards more like Afro beats and different music like that, because they're not like talking about demeaning people. It is not even on just the artists. It's like these record labels that are like pushing us to be so progressive and think outside the box and do all this stuff, but that kind of stuff is like killing us. Like, they're hiring they're signing young men who are all about that
Yeah.
but it's just like they're dying within 6 months to a year of them getting signed, and these labels are taking insurance policies out on these young black people. And it's just like, if you're a rapper, R&B singer, you have to be on that Summer Walker timeline. And hey, I love her music, but like when you have like the young people have Summer Walker, SEXXY Red, Sukiyana, all these people that they're looking towards, and everybody has their own mind to think, but you'll be dumb to say the things that you consume every day don't have any effect on how you view yourself or the people around you.
I
just feel like the way they're pushing to this side extreme is causing people to like become super on the other side and taking like more conservative views and be like, maybe this don't represent me. Maybe I don't relate to popping my pussy in the club every week and dating this guy for whatever amount of money, and then if you don't got that money, I'm on to the next. Maybe I can't relate, and maybe I want to take on a more like modest viewpoint. Maybe I don't want to be in the latest Fashion Nova fit, but if I do that, I'm a fucking loser. Or if I don't agree with SEXXY Red, then I hate women.
Yeah, that's and
I'm
thing.
Like men-centric, or like why do as black people we have to be in one box?
And I feel like that's what they kind of like pushing. Like even with I seen another thing on I think it was like Twitter, no, or like TikTok, one of them, but it was a girl and it was like a lineup of guys. And surprisingly, Blueface is in it too. But it was this one white guy. And then she was like, "What's your credit score?" He was like, "Nearly perfect." It's like, "Yeah, I'm smashing." Girl.
Is that where the bar is right now?
It's
in hell.
Yes.
The bar is in hell, y'all.
And it's just like, we sitting here laughing or looking at this, and it's like, "Ha, that's funny." And most people are like, "Oh yeah, girl, get that back." Like, we're not seeing that this stuff is kind of like absolutely crazy. Like, like this is, and not saying, because I feel like to each his own, to each just have their own life, but to be pushing this to these young girls, like, oh, he needs to be, as long as you got a good credit score, you can smash, like, he gonna give you money, he gonna give you this.
That's crazy.
It's
like,
just like,
that's all you need, sis. Like, you don't need somebody to love you. You don't need somebody to like consider your feelings, support you in your dreams and your like destination. It's all about the money now.
And I feel like this may be controversial, but I feel like that's why a lot of people are like, "Oh, I can't find a good man." Your views is not like, it's like you attract what you kind of like put yourself out there as. And it's like, if you're, "Oh yeah, I'm at the club every night, I'm at the club every weekend," and it's like, you like, "Oh, where are the good men at?" Girl, you in the wrong spaces.
Yeah, they not in the club.
Yeah,
girl.
They're not in the club. They not the ones throwing dollars. Like, these people are there for
a good time, not a long time.
A good time. And it's like, all of this stuff is just, and I feel like it's changing men's views as well. Like, "Oh, I just need to get my money up and I can smash anybody." And then they have this view of like not wanting the type of like, "Okay, I'm not looking for a wife. I'm about to like get all the finest clothes, the finest things, so I can have the baddest, whatever."
And they treat you like can be viable. And like, I just think it's really like, it's just crazy to watch. And it's just crazy. And I'm just really trying to figure out where our generation is going to end up in 10 years, because I'm scared for us. I'm scared.
And that's the thing. It's like these young, like, because I feel like we're kind of like out of that era of like how the kids are nowadays. But these kids, like, just hearing like how they are, it's like, it just reminds me of like, dang, these kids are not like, don't have no type of like structure or value. They just like hearing all these music, because I feel like it's gotten worse than what we grew up as. It's like, we grew up on, okay, let me not say, because we grew up on some ratchet music, the Pink Dollars and stuff.
Crazy as well.
That
That
was a little crazy, but I feel like it wasn't as Pink Dollars was like low key. It was like in the it wasn't community.
The mainstream.
Yeah, so I feel like now the mainstream of music is like, "Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, booty hole brown, whatever." It's like, okay, we're hearing this. It's literally on TikTok. That's the viral song. Kids are My niece probably heard that song scrolling on TikTok. So it's like...
She's 6.
Yeah, she's 6 years old. So I feel like it's no...
Variety.
It's no... Not even just right. It's no structure or no boundaries. It's no boundaries being put out of what... Because before, you know how, like, when we used to hear songs on, like, MTV or on the radio, they cut out all the bad words. It'll be, like, a little... I don't know, they'll change the words to certain things and then make it more playable so I can sing along. And it's like, oh, then when I hear the bad, like even now when I hear like the R or rated version, I'm like, dang, that's not what I use. Like I like the original one. So it's like we're not even getting that type of choice. Censorship anymore. We're just seeing these songs online, on TikTok, on whatever. And just like thinking this is normal. I feel like my niece would start singing that the Lil Uzi song and sing the damn. She'll say the words like they just and they start doing a little like. And I feel like kids at that age, you know, they don't really know what like this is a bad word or stuff like that. But it's like they just sing these songs. She'll sing the Chris Brown song "Effing Robitussin" like and say it, and it's like. This is being fed to this kid. It's a trendy song. It's like, oh, catchy, but it's like.
But what are they saying?
Yeah, you have. It's like you, and then it's like stuff that they're seeing online. Like she could search the song on her YouTube and it'll come up, and she'll do her little dances. But it's like we don't have the same censorship of how we had it back then, because we weren't able to just like randomly go on a YouTube and search up these like crazy songs at 6, you know? So. And
speaking of TikTok, like another little lane that I wanted to get into is like, we've talked about it before. I feel like another reason why women in particular may be pushing back against like super liberal views that's like popular right now is like the girl boss mentality that you just have to like work the same or more than a man, and you have to be the provider and you have to be the breadwinner. And I think that's okay. Like, I think as a woman, you should be ambitious. You should be a go-getter. You should want to like be the maximum version of you. But like, how come in these day and age we're telling women like you could only like you should be only a boss, and if you don't want that, it's just like there's like you're kind of looked down on, or it's just like, okay, well, if you don't want to be independent, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you want to depend on a man? And it's just like, chill.
Yeah, because like, I feel like even with my life right now, I'm not working, my husband's working, and I enjoy this life. Like, I'll be chill, and I'll be going to the gym, and I'll just be enjoying, like, chilling back. But when, like, I'll go to his family events or something, because all my family know what I do. But when I go to his family and it's like, oh, what do you do? Like, what are you working at? I feel like I have to like come up with something like, oh yeah, I'll either say what my last job was or something, because I feel like if I say, oh no, I'm just, you know, I'm not working right now, I'm just not working right now, I feel like I'm gonna be looked at as
less than, or like, what's wrong with
like,
you?
Why aren't you working? Why aren't you doing this? And it's like, I don't know. It just makes me feel like I have to kind of like, I feel ashamed in a way to say like, oh yeah, at the moment I'm not working, because it's like, it just makes, I don't know. It
and 40 years ago,
this was
nobody
the norm.
would have blinked
As a wife,
eye.
you like usually it's like wives don't work.
Yeah, and it's just like, why can't it be space for people who want to do that, and then for people who want to be girl bosses? That's the thing where I feel like it's turning a lot of people off. It's just like, if you're not all on board with this idea of thought, you're just like trying to push out, or like, what's wrong with you, or like, you're not fit, like, this is what's holding black women back, people like you, like, da da da. And it's just like, girl, like, why? Like,
exactly. And
why do we have to be in groupthink all the time?
Yeah, and I feel like I'm not against, because I'm eventually, it's just at the moment I don't really need to, but I'm like looking up and like starting like own business, like little ventures that is eventually gonna grow and give me money. But at the moment, I'm like appreciating this time of where I don't really have to put so much effort into like, oh, I gotta get this job, I gotta hustle, I gotta do this. When it's like I could take this time back to grow something to be even bigger than just being stuck in a box.
Do you think if you looked a different way, like, I just don't see like Brittany and Brad. I don't see when, or Allison and Brad. I don't see when Allison is not working at the time and she goes to her family, her husband's family. I don't think the reception would be the same. I don't think like a white woman staying home and just working, being a stay-at-home wife, or either like trying to start her own business and her husband supporting her. I feel like in different communities that would be applauded. That would be like, good job, because that's your role as a man, to provide for your family. And like, if your wife wants to make that choice to not work, be there. If you can, be there. If that's not what you guys can afford right now, then figure out something out. But if that's y'all situation, why are you looked down on? Because and I really don't believe that it would be the same if your skin was not the skin color you are.
It could be.
And why? And the judgment comes from people who look like us, but it's just like, why? Like, like especially if we don't put that on other people, it's like, oh, that's what's expected for them. Like, they can afford to do that, but why are you assuming that I can't?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, and that's the thing, it's like, when I think of it, and if I was to say something like that, I feel like ashamed. I'm like, I can't tell anybody. Like, even saying it on camera, I'm like, ooh, like, you know, but I feel like I don't know, it makes me feel like, oh yeah, like, people are gonna judge me in a way, even though, I mean, maybe not, but it just feels like that, like, oh, she's not working hard, she's not trying to, like, do what she gotta do to, you know, get her money up or whatever. But it's like, I am in the background. I don't have to be at a 9 to 5 and then hustling on my dreams at the end after that. You know, like, I could afford to do this and I could figure it out. So I feel like I'm not really anti, like, oh, I'm never gonna work, I'm just gonna be lazy and chill back and, like, not be productive. But I feel like, I don't know, it should be normalized. Like, whatever works for somebody's household.
Working a 9 to 5 does not benefit you right now.
It don't.
And
at
you
all.
would be crazy to, like, try, like, imagine me, Nasira, why aren't you doing? Yeah. I feel like if you got on the internet and said, I'm a stay-at-home wife, people would literally be at your neck, like on Twitter or something, like, you're lazy, or a man will be, oh, well, who do you think you are?
Yeah, when it's like, first of all, our relationship is none of anybody's business like that. Like, and that's why I kind of keep it, I guess, conservative. I conserve what I go through usually on, like, just for my own, like, sanity and stuff. Because, first of all, people don't really need to know. But I feel like that whole situation is, like, people just throw their own, it's more like people be throwing their own, like, kind of like envy, like, oh, I wish I could do that, but I'm just like,
they be projecting.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go at her neck because she get to be that, and I wish I could. But it's like, dude, like, just find out what works for
you and stop trying to, like, push your beliefs. Like, no matter how progressive you think you're being, it could be hurting somebody else, like, in the long run. And, like, Black people, we don't have to be put in one box. Like, even, like, you know what I always think about? When Joe Biden said, when he was running for president, he was like, oh, if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. Yeah. That's crazy. And people did not, like, I feel like Black people weren't as upset as they probably should have been. Yeah. Because, like, that doesn't even make sense. And then when somebody like Kanye West gets up and says, like, no matter, like, he does some crazy things, but for him, or even a Candace Owens, when they take on more conservative values, we attack them harder than we attack somebody like Joe Biden, who literally said, if you're Black, you need to vote for me.
Yeah, and if you don't vote for me and you're Black, you're not Black.
You're not Black. So, like, and that's, I really feel like that's what these liberal,
oh my God.
Imagine that. Like, imagine that, like, a white man really coming up to you, like, if you don't do this, you're not Black. So now you guys have to say what's Black. And I feel like sometimes as Black people, we could be a little too inviting.
Yeah, because a lot of people laughed it off. Like,
that shit is not funny at all. Funny. And even, like, I'm thinking about us growing up. When I was growing up, I grew up hearing that Bill Clinton was the first Black president. And it's just like, just because this man plays saxophone on whatever late night show, y'all don't think that was specifically calculated so he could relate to black people and get the black vote? The same man who was calling us super predators and who passed laws to put people in jail for life for selling weed that's now legal. Yeah. And we was calling him the black president, the first black president.
People are crazy.
Like, we gotta think a little deeper. That's all I'm saying as black people. Yeah,
because let me not say that people are crazy, but I feel like as black people, a lot of us are too forgiving and like too like
embracing.
And like too much like, okay. Yeah.
He could come to the cookout.
Yeah,
they hit that jig once. That stiff ass jig. And
when he be calling people the hard ERs in the group chats that y'all not invited in. Like, that's the thing. I feel like people just need to be more like aware and more knowing that most of these people are not for you. Like, be aware that even though they seem liberal, like Joe Biden, he do not care not 1 inch about black people. Like,
I never hear them say, "Oh, LaQuanda is invited to the country club. Sharonda invited to the bar mitzvah." No, you stay over there.
But y'all always want to give out these cards to somebody who just does the bare minimum, the barest minimum. Not somebody who really like for like saving black people, like somebody really like doing what they gotta do, like as a white person with privilege, taking all that privilege and benefiting the communities. No, it's just one little dance, he got some rhythm, invited to cookout. Oh, he wearing Jordans, he invited to cookout. Like, come on.
It's just sad when it's almost like they would rather demean black people who have slightly different views. And the views they're having that's different from you is views that they feel like benefit their community as a whole. Y'all would rather demean that group of black people and then uplift white people who have crazy histories, actual real life histories that you could look up of being racist towards you and being prejudiced and not allowing you in their spaces, but you're just so quick to want to be accepted and want to, like, I think it's, as much as people try to say, like, the conservative black people are obsessed with trying to be, like, more white, I think it's the liberal, more, like, people who are just, like, fixated on aligning themselves with white people who are willing to go for anything, and they really don't have no, like, identity within themselves. Because, like, if you think about we have an idea of black conservative, but a black not even progressive, a black liberal or somebody who's like the people you see every day on your timeline, like, what do they actually represent? Like, is it just like twerking and being out in the clubs all day and just being like, oh, my baby's gonna decide their gender. They're 2 years old, they're 2 months old, and they're gonna decide their gender, but they can't even wipe their own ass. Like, how do you really sound right now? And then even, like, I'm a person, I love the trans community, I love the LGBT community. I don't feel like people should be discriminated. But for you to say that your child does not have a gender, the transgender person had to choose to transition from one gender to the next gender. So we can't all be non-binary. That's your beliefs as a non-binary person. So now I'm the asshole because my kid don't even need to have any political views or any social views like that because they're a fucking kid. And now I'm a bigot or I'm a phobic and I'm just the worst person in the world who just so close-minded because I don't want to, like, name Tyrone Taquisha. Like,
and the crazy thing is, like, I'm thinking about when I was a kid. I was so dumb. Like, I'm not thinking about, like, oh, this, like, I feel like they're trying to put these grown-up ideals and grown-up views on kids, because I feel like, like, all for, if you are at an adult age where it's like, this is, no, I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel right, but if you're under somebody's, like, views of, like, under somebody as a child, that's just like, oh, my child wanted to drink alcohol, so I'm letting them there, that's their choice. It's their decision. I'm letting them drink alcohol. I'm letting them smoke weed at 5 and 10, or I'm letting them have their first shots, like, because that's what they choose to do. I'm like, how crazy? Like, it's like,
at what point did y'all lose control?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what point did y'all just go to Lululand and be like, this is okay?
Exactly. Because I'm like, when I was a kid, I would be like, oh, alcohol, like goofing and like, oh, I want to try alcohol. But imagine if my parents was like, yeah, you're free to do it. And I'm like, okay, drinking alcohol, tasting it, like, and just like, oh, I could do this whenever because my parents allowing it. And like, it's like, you have to have boundaries as a parent and to, like, this person is under your household. It should be like, okay, this is what it is. You teach them right. Because imagine now, like, a kid, like, oh, I want to change at 2 years old. I want to be a boy. A little girl saying she want to be a boy. And then you're like, yeah, let's go take you to the doctor to have these procedures done and change everything. Take off, like, give you testosterone at a kid's age. And, like, it's just like, why not let them experience and like, okay, we'll see how this progresses as you get older, and once you are old enough to make the decision on your own,
you could go
you
do
can
that.
go do that. And yeah, be supportive and be understanding, but kids change their mind all the time. I had like, when I was younger, I used to want to be a freaking dancer, a singer, and like all this stuff. It's like, then I changed. I wanted to be a lawyer because I heard a girl say she wanted to be a lawyer, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be a lawyer. And it's like, kids just change, and kids just like should be able to experience life without making these harsh decisions before they're of age.
That they weren't even thinking about it until they heard it on TV or in the media. And like I said, I'm all for accepting people, but it's just like, how come, like, when somebody says, I don't want to do that for my child's life or in my life, now they're being attacked. Just like somebody shouldn't attack you for believing in whatever you believe in, we need to all show each other mutual respect. And I think that's where the plot has been lost. Like, just because you have different beliefs, now you're, like I said, every name in a book besides the Lord. Like, a child of the Lord, whatever they say. But it's just like, why do y'all want to have one identity? And then, like, your identity is not the same as me. Like, we have had different experiences, especially with, like, people who reach a certain, like, level. Like, I'm thinking of Gabrielle Union and her husband, and how they parade their kid around like an accessory, and every time they're having an interview about anything, they need to tell us all about the intimate, personal details of their child's life. And if your child wants to transition from one gender to the next, that's their business. But why do you feel the need to put that onto everybody when it's not even applicable to the situation? Like, you could ask them what the weather like, and they talk about their child's gender. And it's just like, where's the respect for your child, and where's the respect for other people who may have different opinions? And then they bring it into this public space, and then be upset when somebody publicly responds on Instagram or something, and be like, well, you're pimping your kid out, or they might not agree that you should be changing your child's sex when they're underage. Like, once you make it public, people feel comfortable to comment publicly. But I think that people use that kind of stuff, specifically, like, sometimes celebrities, to, like, either create relevancy in their life or to push something onto them. When they, like, think about the average Black American. Like, if you really think about it, they can't identify with that. They don't identify with that. But now all these people are bigot. All these people are ignorant. I feel like it's a way to keep Black people down and make them seem dumb because they're not progressive enough to accept these gender things. When 10 years ago, we were having completely different conversations. And instead of, like, leading with trying to, like, get people to understand, or, like, get people to, like, be educated, it's all of a sudden, you're this, you're that, you're that. It's just very abrasive. Like, it's crazy.
I could agree. I feel like it reminds me of, like, when they was, like, chewing out Boosie. And I feel like Boosie's views, sometimes it is, like...
He's crazy.
Yeah. But I feel like when he's like, first of all, he really shouldn't be speaking on nobody's child, but they did shoot him out for even saying anything about it.
I feel like with that, it's just like you can't speak on somebody else's kid.
When you have your kid with
strippers, you out here dissing your daughter on diss tracks.
Yeah.
All this stuff, like, you have a lot to worry about.
And that's what I don't like. You have the nerve, like, because I feel like I said, everybody has their own opinion, but when it came to that, it was like, okay, they threw him out, but it's like...
That's his opinion.
It's his opinion, but still, I feel like that's the kind of like ignorance where it's like, okay, you can have that opinion, but now we have opinions about what you doing with your kids, and that's not right. So why I get that, and I get what you can have your own opinion, but on like have
and I feel
that.
Like those are two extremes.
Super
duper country bumpkin,
yeah,
Louisiana backwoods, and then super duper. I don't even know what to call them.
Yeah, to the other side, but I do feel like most of the time, even with stuff like that, when it is like put on social media so much and like, yeah, I'm like this is my transgender daughter now, and then like just doing so much, it's like, oh, you're doing it for attention, and you're not really genuine about what this was. Like, you're like not, it feels like, it seems more like you're not really true to like what you're doing. Like, was this you doing it just like for the right reason, or are you doing it so you could parade and outcast, like, yeah, this is what we are, and what if you say something wrong about it, then you're the wrong one. And it's like where's the like boundaries, I guess. It's like all this stuff in the media is being like forced on, like shown, and like we're just like getting so, I guess, like desensitized to so much. And it's like, if we don't have these views, we're just like completely off, like cut off.
And for me, I feel like the people who promote these views like the most, it's like mainstream media. Yeah. And people like attach themselves and go on and go on. But people who really are doing the work and who are like are marginalized and fall into these different intersections, whether you be a black trans person or a gay black person in America, like a lot of these white folks and these celebrities, they're leaving out a huge part of struggle that these people will be facing. Like, they're not even, like, when they talk about trans rights and everything, they're worried about using the bathroom. I don't see them talking about the black trans people that are getting gunned down, murdered at extreme rates. Like, they're talking about gay people. They're talking about marriage, which is like, black people get married too, but that hugely benefits middle class white gay people. They're not talking about making sure that their black gay brothers and sisters have the same rights and the same access to them, to different things as they do. They're thinking about not even conservative, white things that benefit white people, things that benefits middle to upper class people. And it's just like, you guys want to have all these far out views or like super duper liberal views, but you guys are not thinking about how it's going to affect the everyday black American that don't have as much access or privilege as you. And I don't think that just because you're in a certain like level of economics or social class that you should just be living in fear. But like, you're a black person living on Crenshaw or living in the inner city is going to have a completely different set of issues when they express themselves openly or when they are just so outspoken and doing all this stuff than a white person would. And that's where the disconnect comes to, especially when white people are telling black conservatives or black people how to live their life. Like, you can't relate, no matter how much you want to be a ally and a POC and all this stuff. Y'all can't relate. And it's just like it's like all this representational, like like solidarity and justice, like this social media stuff. But when things actually get tough, y'all are not there
at all.
And then y'all take it far. Like, look at Rachel Dolezal. Like, that's when it goes too far. Like, these white folks wanting to be having these imaginary struggles.
Yeah.
You're over here calling the police, saying that you're experiencing hate crimes because you want to be all the way just, I don't even know what she wants to be a black woman.
Yeah.
And how does that actually, like...
She was delusional.
Yeah, how does that add... You're a white woman who's pretending to be a black woman that's being attacked. How does that benefit black women who's actually being attacked and persecuted and
it's not
targeted? Like, it doesn't.
It's just her own. It's like her own benefit, and she's doing it to like be this like supposed good person for the community, good black person for the community. But by you doing that, it's not only not beneficial, but it's taking away somebody who is an actual black woman.
Yeah.
You're in this
space. She was
space.
a whole African American study teachers at Howard.
And was she like in the NAACP?
Yeah, you're taking these positions away from actual black people who spend their lives working hard, and that rather they be conservative or liberal, they have the experience that you guys don't. And for people who are not black to come and constantly put their experience on what they think black people are, I think it just needs to stop. And I think black people should be more selective. And even if you might be conservative and I'm super progressive, why you gotta be an Uncle Tom? Why can't we have a conversation and things? You might have some things that might benefit me. Like, you might be able to put me on to some tax loops. Or you might be able to put me on to a good job here, put me on some game here. But I'm too caught up in and being divisive and saying, oh, I can't relate to you. Even though you look like me, we probably have a similar experience because your political views or your social views don't like. And then when we think about it, who is it really benefiting?
Exactly. By it being so divided into this like one side, oh, this person is on this side, so I can't associate it with them. And it's like we're all the same, and I feel like even like some liberals, like conservatives, could learn from certain liberals in like certain situations of having like more open spaces, and it could be vice versa. Like, I feel like we kind of need to be more, I guess, open to that. Even me, because when I think of it, I'm like, these are people I don't really think I would associate with. But in all, it is some people who, because all the people who, like I mentioned, like the ones who work for like the city, like these type of like more structured black people, they were so helpful and like reached out to me and wanted to like because this is when I was running my business, but they wanted to like get me going and figure out like, okay, what can we do next? Where could I? And it's like, okay, this is helpful. Like, this isn't just like, oh, these people who are kind of like snobby. And I feel like that's the kind of idea that black people are, like black non-conservatives, because I'm not even gonna say liberals, because it's a
like, whole and I know we've been saying liberals a lot, but it's like a whole category of people that don't fall into liberals that have these beliefs. That's just the word that comes to my mind.
Because it's not really I don't know what the really word is for that other side, but I feel like the conservatives, I feel like if we do kind of like now I lost my train of thought, but I just feel like we both can learn from each other. And I feel like if we come together and like get more experience within that, we could grow within our communities, because that's mostly, I feel like a lot of that is like community building, and a lot of them want that for younger people and like want that for our generation, is to be more of a community. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like with liberalism is so inclusive to all,
it loses
that
the plot.
It loses what black people kind of need to be, because it's like we don't have any type of community. Like, we're still struggling in these like inner city communities, in the black communities, and not getting the ideas of like from the people who are like in the black wealthier communities, and just kind of keeping this mindset like, nah, these are the people who vote for Trump, we need to support that. Like, and it's more so like we can all, if we all came together, it could be so beneficial for the communities.
I agree. I definitely agree. I know for certain that I believe that, like, for example, somebody like Candace Owens, who may have some hot takes, she's not always right, she's not always wrong, but I believe she cares about black people. Candace Owens cares about black people more than Joe Biden cares about black people, but people are quick to diminish her and uplift him. And there's a clear history of what he has done for black people, and there's a clear history of what she has done. And I think, one, he's very negative, and we just need to be more mindful and be like less like on the cancel culture stuff and oh, you're over here, and because that's what these people want. They want to keep dividing us and making us argue amongst ourselves so we can't benefit with ourselves. Because, like, look at, like, sexual assault aside, Bill Cosby, he told us to pull up our pants and stop sagging and straighten up our backs, but he also gave us Little Bill. He gave us a different road. He gave us a different thing to look at as black people. When who was doing that for us? Nobody. But we erase everything good people do when they do something that we don't agree with. And this is like, I'm not talking about the sexual assault stuff. Please. I'm not.
This like, is before, or like before we knew that.
Before we even knew about
this
that.
This is more his conservative side.
People were, oh no, Bill Cosby, this, da, 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 da. But it's just like, we can't erase the good. We got to take the good even when it has some bad sprinkle in, because we all fall short of the grace of God. And nobody's perfect. No matter how many hours you spend on Twitter attacking people for having different views, nobody's perfect. The amount of time you spend on Twitter coming left at this person for believing this, you can actually be doing something within your community to have a direct impact. Not sitting on Instagram judging people for actually doing stuff in their lives. It's very easy to judge from your couch.
Exactly, though. Like, I totally agree. I feel like it's crazy, because when we were growing up, I feel like we had so much more black excellence on, like, the, like, shows and stuff like that. Like, it was like, Fresh Prince and stuff is kind of like a little bit before it started before our time, but Fresh Prince, like, A Different World,
even Girlfriends,
like,
all these
shows.
Different types of black people.
Like, and it showed, like, it gave us, like, this view of, like, oh yeah, like, people could be different, and this is what I want to see. Like, as growing up as a kid, like, Little Bill, like, seeing a structured black family, it's just like, oh, that's like, I like to see that. Like, and I just feel like we're kind of just, like, it's like I said, it's like, oh, we're washing away our representation in communities, and just, oh, we have to be liberal, and we have to be inclusive to everybody. And of course, everybody should have respect, and everybody deserves respect, and everybody deserves to be heard. But I feel like in all of that, letting everybody else be heard, we're kind of washing our own culture away, and our own like our benefits, our needs. And like, when are black people gonna be selfish? When are we gonna start thinking about us? When are we gonna stop posting about everybody else's struggle? We're posting about Ukraine, we're posting about all these different things, but what about us? Like, what about, like, and not just like a black box on Instagram. Like, what are we really asking for? Like, we get so caught up in just all this, like, neo liberalism and all this, like, this cause. Y'all are happy that y'all get a statue when a black person is killed or one cop gets arrested, but we're not actually commanding making the changes that need to actually be made.
And y'all, like, it's like y'all are doing the work of the people who want to keep y'all down. And like, when are we gonna, like, literally, not even, you guys want to ask for freedom to align yourself with people who be like, here, have a little crumb, have a little this. Joe Biden's giving us crumbs,
the tiniest crumbs too.
But y'all don't want to stand up for yourself and be like, I don't even relate to this. I don't identify with this. Like, you're too busy fighting other people's battle. We ain't never going to get free like that. Like, we're never going to, like, why do we want to be so caught up in struggles? Like, whether it be politically, socially, like, why do we want to attach ourselves to everything that's going to make our life harder?
Instead of coming together and making it a better community and better life for us all.
I don't want to have a hard life.
Yeah, me neither.
A hyper independent girl boss who pays the majority of the bills, or who always wants to go 50-50, and I accept my body no matter how unhealthy I get. I am liberal, and if my kid is 2 years old and he wants to be a girl, and my daughter wants to freaking get a surgery and do this and do that, I'm just gonna let her, because I just let life happen to me. And I just go with the flow, because I have no control, because I'm just a black woman in America. I can't. I'm sorry.
I can't either. I feel like we all kind of have to just see what's really, because I mean, being a girl boss may work for somebody, being hyper independent may work for somebody, but to use that as like, that's how all women should be. Women, you need to get your bag up, girl. You need to do this. Start a business, start this, make this enterprise, because it's all on you. You got to be like this. And it's like, okay, even being too hyper independent, it's like, you like, okay, if you have this, and even, I don't know, whatever works for you, but it could even make a man feel like, oh dang, okay, what can I do? What can I provide? What can I...
Like, it's like pushing, especially for black women, I feel like society already makes us, like, puts this weird masculinity on us. And I feel like with those kind of movements, it's pushing black women even more in that space to be, like, super masculine, to, like, I don't need a man. Like, no. Sometimes it's not bad to have a man. Or, oh, if a man date me, I gotta break him down. Like, it's literally called breaking niggas. Like, that's like some slave stuff.
It
like,
is.
If you think about it, we're like depleting the value from our family structures, from us wanting to actually do jobs and do stuff within our communities that's gonna lead to mobile stability. No, I want to be a broke artist who cries on TikTok all day because I want to be Lizzo's friend instead of working on my own life. Like, it's all a distraction. Nothing of, like, really, guys, if y'all listening to this, I'm so serious right now. Think about the last thing that you really, like, you got on the bandwagon for. How does it affect your life today? How does it really affect your life today? Like, think about it.
Exactly.
Just think about it.
I love that.
And black people, we just need to do more things that benefit us. We can be selfish. We deserve it.
We definitely
deserve
it. We can be selfish
place.
For like, real.
We do so much for the people around us. Let's have a moment to call each other in.
Yes.
Let's call each other in, and let's have a conversation amongst each other and stop pushing away because we want to be closer to white folks and their beliefs and their radical ideas. Like, so we can have radical ideas too, but why I gotta be against you because you have a different opinion than me? You know, let's call each other in. Talk amongst each other. Stop inviting people to the cookout so easily. Talk to people that are having different opinions from you, whether they be black or white, but understand who you are and what benefits you.
Exactly.
In
and
this
your
day
community.
And age,
because I feel like a lot of people get caught up in like, oh, community, that's not really for me. But even your family, like, think of your family, your black family. If you're black, like, think of the people who you want to, like, support, and think of everybody. Like, I feel like people get so, like to individualism where it's like, oh, this is just me. But it's like, you're not realizing, like, all of us come from a family background where it's like, we all want to feel that type of, like, love and respect. So why not give it?
And
why
there's
not
a generation of people coming after us, and like, think about the stuff that every day when you get on your phone, turn on the TV, turn on the news, look at what they're portraying black people as. Like, not only black people, women of color. Like, I want to include my Latinas. Like, look how they're portraying us, and ask yourself, is that what you want for the next generation? Like, is it? Just think about it.
Yeah, and I feel like we could close out with that because I feel like this topic was so good, and I feel like it was a necessary topic to talk about because I feel like even with me, like, I get so caught up in all these, like, different things that's coming out, and I'm like, okay, like, let me just be like, so, like, when it's like, do I really believe in that? Do I really, like, but I'm like, okay, I want to be supportive as much as I can, but it's like, when is it really like, okay, I need to start supporting like my true first community of like people surrounding me, instead of being so like, yeah, this person. It's like, of course we all need to respect each other, but let's all try to focus on what really need to be done in the communities.
Yeah, things that directly benefit us. Yeah, you know, as Black people, as young people, as people who deserve to have a good life. Like, yes, really, like, what could be the best possible outcome? And even if it's something that you could consider radical, why not have a conversation with that person instead of automatically shutting them down? Because that's what people want. They want us to put each other in boxes and not have conversations with each other and not progress. People don't want our community to progress, and I feel like just what they're pushing on us is just, it's like it's masked as being progressive, but it's really not. It's bringing us down and it's distracting us. And like, I love me some sexy red, but when we only have that, there's no variation of what's being represented, and the bar is so low that if you have a good credit score, I'm willing to sleep with you or trying to have a child with you. Like, and marriages don't matter anymore because it's just a piece of paper. And even though I'm a woman, I'm going to pay the bills, take out the trash, do all this stuff. Like, just think about how it benefits you, how it's going to benefit the children that you have in the future. That's just thing. Think about it. And I think that was like the perfect ending to this episode. So we hope you guys liked it. It's a new like little take. It's more of like, I guess, a more serious topic, but a necessary topic because I feel like we all need to come and kind of get it together, because we kind of like just floating around instead of really like finding out a structure for us and finding out a structure for the future generations, my kids in the future, your kids in the future. See what works best for us. Well, Monique said, I love y'all for real. Well, make sure y'all run up this episode. Make sure y'all check out some of our old episodes. Make sure y'all sharing this with a friend. Share it with an enemy. Just make sure you share. Share it with somebody you think would be interested in this. Make sure y'all give us 5 stars. 5 stars. Because that pushes us up in the algorithm. And, you know, we're saying something different on this episode. We're coming vulnerable. We would love to hear y'all opinions in the comments section below. Like, let's open it up. Because, like, if y'all disagree with me, that's okay. Like, we talked about it. Like, let's have a conversation. Like, we're not a monolith. We're not all the same. For real. And
like, we could take some of y'all and maybe like, okay, they had a good point. I could agree with that. Like, literally, this is a conversation. This is open. This is our views of things. And it shouldn't just be a after, or like if you have a certain like disagreement, oh, you're canceled, you're this, you're that. Why not have the like a debate? Because that's what
we're smart enough to hold conversations.
Exactly. So make sure y'all comment in and let us know.
Stream everywhere y'all get podcasts. This episode is coming out this Saturday. Make sure y'all run them views up. We want to see y'all in the comments. We're going to be giving y'all more content than ever. That means we need more views than ever. So, yes, tell us what y'all think.
Thank you.
5 stars, all that.
Yes, 5 stars. Bye-bye.